You know, it's actually good I have this because I was looking for a little soapbox to step onto. So, as you can get from the title and the introduction, this is really not a kind of heavy topic. This is just a lighter kind of video where I just want to ramble a bit about something that has been bugging me in a way. And that is that word munition grade and how it is used today, because I don't think it is used in the right way and it's bugging me a bit, and that's irrational. And I probably spent more time thinking about this than is really worth it. But the thing I am complaining about it is just that if you see munitions grade being used today, it is often used for something that is considered damaged or just cheap, not really as good as other pieces that are not munitions grade. And I don't really think that fits what munitions grade has been. Because in the past, munitions grade was made, yes, to scale en masse and cheaper, but not bad. It was arms and armor made to be stored in an armory and then distributed when needed. Landsknecht's armor, stuff like that. You still have them around. You can see the pieces today. But they were still made by craftsmen who absolutely knew what they were doing. And the munitions grade, the savings and the costs for it would be more in the level of finish. Of course, if you go into detail, it gets really hard to define things, just like what is a messer. It's really easy to answer if you want to be superficial about it, but as soon as you start looking into it, it's kind of a nightmare. Similar situation here, but if I were to say what munitions grade should be, it is arms and armor made with the same skill, but to a lower level of finish. Not cheaply made and not badly made, really. And just to put two pieces maybe into context to try and show a bit of what I mean by that is that I have this sword here, for example. And in the past, this would have been something that would have been mass-produced. It's 1796 light cavalry saber. And this here is the cold steel version of it that I got way back. And it's seen some use, as you can see, and there's a bit of a story to that, because by today's standard, this wouldn't be called munitions grade. And it certainly looks nice. Well, not now anymore, but it looked nice when it was new, really. But it didn't quite feel nice to me, because compared to this piece, which is mass-produced, compared to originals that were also mass-produced, had a way simplified blade geometry. And as a result, it really didn't feel nice in the hands. There's better versions of the 1796 LC out now. I think Matt Easton made one with, I think it was windlass, that way better reproduce what originals would have been, but this here felt bad. I've handled some other originals. I've taken measurements of a German M1811, which is basically the same sword, but tends to be more on the beefy side compared to the British version. And even that just felt nicer. As a result, I sent this to a friend to reshape it. And now I can use it fine. Now it's quite nice feeling. It still has some oomph to it, but it definitely is not quite as brick-like. I always find that hard to really describe, but if you've handled several reproductions, several swords, you probably know what I'm talking about. You can just feel it. It doesn't quite feel right. And on the other hand then, what I think is more accurate to what munitions grade would have been would be great. So what I think, to get back on track, what actually way more accurately represents what munitions grade would have been is something like this. This is a sword by Ádám that you may or may not have seen an unboxing of, depending on whether I have actually published that video. Bit of an experiment. But this is a sword made by someone who absolutely knows what they are doing. But it is made to a comparatively lower level of finish. If you look at other pieces he has made, my Beham Messer or my Carabella or something like that, this here shows pieces that, I'll probably have to show photos of that, but that normally would have been polished out, quite literally. This here has file marks and there's some hammer marks still left. It's quite coarse wire wrap, really. You can see on the blade even that there are file marks that Ádám normally wouldn't leave on that, but I explicitly asked him to do Munitions Grade, and I still think it looks a bit nicer than maybe it should have, but I guess he can't help himself, really. Same here with the shell. It's not polished, it's just simply blued, and there are other versions of the sword out there that do show a higher level of finish. The same goes for the scabbard, really. It's fine, it's perfectly serviceable, it fits well, it certainly holds the sword, but it's not decorated. The leather didn't take to the color in the very best way. It's not the best leather for that, but it's fine, it's perfectly fine. If you were looking for a sword where you don't really care about the finish that much, but that needs to work, and that, you maybe can just glue and store away somewhere in an armory, then this would have really been what you would be looking at. Not something that feels bad in the hand because it kind of looks right, but it wasn't really made with an understanding of what a sword needs to be. So yeah, just as I said, a bit of rambling. I really, I don't quite know why it bothers me that much, but yeah, it's irking me a bit. So if you've stuck around that long, thank you for your patience. And yeah, see you next time.